in your opinion, how do we even approach the conversations with the siblings? You say start young, or, you know, make sure you're having these conversations, but being a parent here, there's nothing wrong you could say. I think sometimes we just don't know how to have the conversation. So any pointers or suggestions for parents?
I would say don't force it, because they should already have their sibling bond. If hopefully they'll have their sibling bond by then, because forcing it on them would most likely cause a resentment. You know, like, why do I have to do this? Why do I do that? So, you know, just explain to them, you know, your sister or your brother might need a little bit more help. Are you okay with helping them? Or at least, you know, so they can still have their fun time as siblings. But, you know, have, yeah.
I would say just like check in a lot. Like my mom had like that conversation with me when I was like 7 or 8. And I don't honestly remember us talking about it again until I was like in college. Like, no exaggeration. We were both just like, this thing exists and we're both dealing with it. So I think like she was probably having a lot of like her feelings about it. I was having all these other feelings about it. I didn't want to be an additional burden because I did recognize it as like additional work. So my advice would just be like, check in, even if it's only like once, like you said, a day, like once a year, where you're like, how's it go? You know, how's it go? Like open the conversation, because I do think for me as a sibling who's like a pretty high achieving sibling, both me and my brother went to like Ivy League schools and stuff like that. We were just really focused on making it as easy as possible. So we weren't going to be the ones to like start that conversation. So for me, it would just be like, try and build in opportunities to check in. I feel like organic, and like other folks have said, like don't provide a lot of pressure, but also open it up in case your sibling is ready to talk about how they're feeling about, you know, the whole situation.
Yes, definitely that checking in is very important. Well, to tell you the truth, my parents never really talked about me until now, and I'm 27. But I think for them, they don't want me to feel burdened that I will be the one who's gonna take the role of the caretaking. It's just that when I was done with bachelor's, I think I just graduated. I was just alone with my dad and like doing my passport in this office. And I was talking to him about what I wanted to do next. And I told him like, well, Zaki's gonna be with me. And he stopped and he looked at me and he was like, well, how did you come up to that conclusion? And I said, well, isn't it, well, he's gonna be with me. And I just take that role. But he was very shocked and he didn't think I would take that role. But that's just my dad. He was just, he didn't want to burden his other children, right? This is a little hard. But my parents are amazing. They're amazing parents and they're doing whatever they can to support all of their children, me and my other 2 brothers. But if there were more explanation, if there were more discussion and open discussion, and my parents, even though our backgrounds in an Asian household, they're pretty open to different kinds of discussion. I just wish we had that because like Sam said, like you as a sibling, you don't want to burden them. You reach high, like you're the one kid has no issues, right? Because you know your parents already have to work with their brothers for their own challenges. But if I had that kind of conversation with my parents, I think that would have been so much more helpful and open more doors to other types of communication between us.
Can I add something else? Oh, sorry.
Okay. So there definitely are a lot of things that parents can do to support siblings, but I'll just go back to the basic. because I did share that, like, at a certain point, I have lost myself in loving my siblings too much. I think it would have helped if I have heard from my parents that I matter, right? Like that I am valued as well, that my opinion is important, and that I have a choice. That just that feeling of I don't have to carry all of this.
Were you gonna say something, Kimra?
I was just going to say that just don't forget your other children as well, just giving them a little bit of attention as well, letting, you know, it's not only, even though everything's focused around your special needs sibling, but just making sure they're incorporated as well and not feeling left out.
Yeah, I all agree with everyone. Just being attentive to what the sibling is feeling, or the sibling without the disability, or yeah, just basically checking in and seeing just the simple question is like, how are you doing? Because those words and those type of actions can mean a lot, especially at a younger age. I know my dad, even though I didn't see him a lot, just him checking in on me every now and then, just yeah, meant the world to me. So